Hi, Brian King over at King Law Offices. A while back, one of the things that I felt like was that people would say, like, I didn't know about this, or I felt like I was the last one to know about whatever issue it was. So I came up with something that I felt like was important because I could feel it in my own life. And I called it the rule of five. And that is that really I could pick up the phone and call as many people as I could possibly do during a week, and I might have a minute chat with this person or whatever it might be. And sometimes it just led to a kind of a telephone kind of thing of saying, like, well, Brian told me this, well, Brian told me that. And it didn't really link up. And I realized that if I just concentrated on five people and I made sure that I made a commitment that every week we're going to talk about the most important five topics that's going on in their life, that would make a much bigger difference, especially if they then took five people that they talked to. And then it moved on until everybody at our office was part of somebody's five. Now, when we call it 5x5 around the office, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have five people you're talking to. But I don't want it to be more than five. And I want it to be something that you, as a team member, delve into deeper than just, hey, how are you doing? But just say, like, okay, what's your biggest issue that's on your mind? Hey, I looked at your numbers last week. It looked like you were a little off. Is there something going on? But it also just like, hey, I knew you have that big concert that you're going to over the weekend. Did you enjoy it? Did you have fun? How's your daughter doing? How's your mom doing? Are is things going okay at home? And I'm not talking about diving so deep and making it into a therapy session. I'm just talking about making sure that people are okay, because when we're so spread out and we live in a world that's very flex oriented and people work from home and then they come into the office and those things, and it's easy to put on a smile for 5 minutes and fool people, but we want to know what's really happening, and we want to make sure you do that, because when you have that, you're going to be more productive. And when you know somebody's going to call and ask you about it, it's going to be a little easier to call that difficult client, or to do that difficult step, or to finish that project on up, because you know you're going to get called by somebody who knows and cares about you. That's what we call 5x5. It's important. It's a big part of who we are. We're trying to get this right. I know that sometimes it doesn't always work. And if you miss it one week, fine. Get back to it next week. We'll make sure that we make this work. If we do that, we'll always be able to have your own tight knit community, no matter how big we get.